Thanks. Hi, everyone. Thank you for... Ooh, that's lighter to be. Thanks for welcoming here. Thanks to IAB for inviting me here and sharing my experience. And what I have to say is that what we have to talk today is very important, though, because everybody of you just might say that what a reptile means to an agency. Okay? What a reptile means to it means a lot. It means a lot to an agency, it means a lot to the creative industry, because that's how we react. That's how we deal with it. But I will explain further more on our presentation, though, in order to understand how we have to deal with that, in order to perform and in order to change, though. Based per our experience, based per our work. What is a reptile means to an agency? You know the reptiles. When you go to a reptile, it has three instincts reactions. He's just going to run, he's going to freeze, or he's going to fight with you. Three things that he does. Now take that as a metaphor and put it towards what a human does when he feels a fear, when he has that kind of instinct. And take that and put it to an agency when he feels in front of a challenge, even in front of change, in front of supporting and being ready to be changed. So, in order to grow, of course, we have to deal with our reptile. I know that is an evolution thing. Darwin used to talk a lot about that, but he's a good experience to take around. I have a question for all of you, though, even though I don't see you very well. So, what year did you first open a Facebook account, though? Can any one of you tell me? 2007? Yeah? 2008? 2007, next? 7, yeah? 8? 8, you see? Good. I'll go to the next one. I'm full of questions today. How many of you have refused to do so on the beginning? Because, yep. Did you refuse? Yeah? No? You just went for it, yeah? Straightforward. Good. But I will help. Were you scared for the prospect of opening a Facebook account without even knowing what it was? So, in other words, you didn't know. So your reptile was telling you, I'm doubtful. I'm not going to follow that, because you were in your comfort zone about it. So you didn't need Facebook in order to be social at the moment, at the time. Maybe you were just curious about it. So you were acting by instincts. So how many of you today see Facebook? Because this is the most important questions right now. How many of you see Facebook today as their primary digital window? So what I mean by it is that when you go to Facebook, when you go and wake up in the morning, like everybody does, you just wake up you get your mobile phone, and you just open your mobile phone there. What do you see first? Is it Facebook anymore? No. Thank God. I thought I lost it. Anyway, but we have to be that the speed is obvious, my friend. The speed is very, very obvious. So I'm introducing you the Facebook, the first traditional digital media today. So this is the era that we are living on. Even though the numbers of Facebook are growing up, even though the numbers are moving on, even the target is there, even the audience may be there, but we are dealing today with the traditional media in digital. It took like 50 to 60 years for television to become on our daily language, though. You know what I mean? Like we use it in our agencies, like the traditional channel. Now we have the first traditional channel within the digital channel. So this is called Facebook. And do you know that happened? Because we live in a decade of change. In order for us to embrace, in order for us to adapt as agencies, we have to change. We have to change, and we have to accept the change first. And that's very important, though. We have to adapt. We have to adapt to new technologies. We have to adapt to the new mindset, to the new audiences. They are changing. It's not like 10 years ago. It's changing rapidly, though. But what is the most important one? We have to sophisticate. In order for us to change and to adapt and to embrace and to deal with it, to confront that, we have to sophisticate. How we can sophisticate? By doing the best, by getting to know, by being up to date, by upgrading ourselves not just as individuals, but as agencies too. And this is very important. And I will go to this beautiful lad. He's my son. He is Elijah. Elijah is 14 years old. And I told him, on the 3rd of June, I have to be in Belgrade. And he said, what are you going to talk about, Dad? And I said, I'm going to talk about digital marketing in agencies. And he said, what do you know about digital marketing? Damn, he killed me though. You know what I mean? Normally, I'm the one that putting people in the corner though, but he did put me on a corner. Not because he made that question. He made me think and realize with another question that he did. Can I be frank with you, Dad? Poor him, he was suffering. He had 2 hours thinking what he's going to ask to me. And he said, what do you know about my age? And I said, damn, what do I know about his age? I have to be very, very careful when I answer back to him, though. Because it's different. It's not like me asking my father 30 years ago. It's not like my father asking his father 60 years ago. We live in an era where information is real time right now. So I had to be very careful what to answer to this lad. So I have to watch it. I have to watch it because this is the way that my customers see me now. This is the audience which I'm targeting now. This is the audience that we are targeting now. This is the near future. And it's very fast. It's faster than we ever thought before. We were talking about, Igor showed us some numbers which were like up and growing. There will be even more up and growing. We are living in a decade of change. And decades of change is happening not within 10 years, it's happening within 1 year. So we might live a century within 10 years. That's how fast is the change. And this is rare. She wanted that picture to show to you, though. She made a couple of questions. I'm not going to mention them because this will be a stand-up comedy afterwards. Honestly, this won't be a digital marketing conference after that. So I'm just putting through, though. Let's talk about the digital marketing evolution. In the beginning, you all remember how we did it. We had to work 3 to 6 to 12 months in order to prepare a campaign. And what was a modern and successful 5 years ago, nowadays is old-fashioned. Does anyone here had an account in High Five? Sorry for asking that, though. I do apologize. But that was the first one. I barely, honestly, it was hard for me even to find a logo, though. You know what I mean? That's how old it was. But that was the first one. We had MySpace. That's where I first started, though. It makes me feel too old, though. And Facebook, and we have that Instagram just in the middle. But here we go. What we are fighting now is Twitch, is Snapchat, is TikTok. What Ivan said is true, is leading. Is leading and is making that change. But what is making that to an agency? Is making to change the content. Is making to change the attitude, the work placement, the mindset. Now the new digital communication language and the digital concept, they have become a norm. They have become a norm on our daily lives. For what reason? For the industry professionals, but for the large audiences too. Let me stop about that. Because when we talk about a norm for industry professionals, to become a norm for industry professionals, there are two ways. Or you go to embrace it by yourself, and as an agency, normally they don't do it. We just like the comfort zone. We just like to walk and do our beautiful creative stuff and take it slow. Just put the letter just a bit on the left. Can we change the color there, right? You know what I mean? That's the fantasy in the agency life. But today we have an audience. We have an audience which is hungry for more. We have an audience which we are not doing anymore just a poster. We have to do 12 of them in order to feel the content. So the time, instant marketing does not have the better meaning than today. Instant marketing is today. Has the right positioning. Dealing with digital marketing, I have to say, guys, who is in the creative industry right now here as an agency, you should feel proud, guys. We are the privileged ones. We are the perks ones. And do you know why? Because as we used to be before, now even more, we are the decoders. We are the guys who translate the change. we are taking from technology. The technology by himself, just a digital specialist, won't do nothing by himself if he doesn't have a copywriter to his side, if he doesn't have a creative person on his side, if he doesn't have a team, all in one, in order to deliver that. But this makes us privileged. This makes us the perks of the industry. We have a lot of changes, though. We have a change of mentality right now. And then change of mentality comes up from expectations. But why is coming back to expectations? Because the KPIs are changing. Yesterday we had like, how many numbers of newspapers did you sell? Oh, that newspaper sold 3,000, that one sold 5, the other one sold only 10. Damn, we lost that money. We were talking about audience share on TV, but yes, we know we had a television, but that family wasn't done by one person. There were 4 or 5 of them. So we didn't know who was watching the real one. We knew that they were watching, but we don't know what were they watching. Maybe they were just leaving it there. Maybe they were cooking or eating something. But we didn't know. Nowadays, we know. We have KPIs. So the KPIs of today are reach, real-time sales, generation leads. We have it on real time. We know. We have the device. So this makes us more important, but this is giving us more important and more responsibilities in order to deal with it as an agency. We are in front of yesterday and today is about real time. So it won't take any more 3 to 6 months in order to do your work and to get the feedback from your client and say that, yeah, you failed, or yes, we did good. Now the customer is asking you real time, and he says, I'm selling, I'm not selling. And this is the most important thing, what is happening to an agency today. Now we are in front of ROI. Return of investment is what is going to be challenged by the agency. Because the clients now are smarter, though. They are getting smarter. Even if they don't know nothing about it, they will get someone who knows about it, and they will come and ask you. So real-time numbers, the technology is allowing so. So ROI is the most important thing that any design, advertisement, digital agency is facing today. Real-time numbers. This will be our challenge. This will be our next decade challenge. Now the content, because in order to challenge that ROI, in order to challenge that real-time issue, we need to generate content. I know that 5 years ago, that saying that content is a king wasn't a cliche, but can you imagine, within the 5 years, content is a king, has become a cliche that everybody else knows. So we have more people talking about digital today. We have more people talking about mobile phones and apps than we used to do before. But believe it or not, content is the king. And we have to deal with that. We have to deal with that in order to fight, in order to attack all the senses. Because what's happening is that when we think about a campaign, when we think about a product, when we think about a service that we need to promote, what we have to do, we have to think about the senses. Today, our audience is on a mobile phone. And we know that there is only one sense, sight. You might say, yeah, but sight was even yesterday on television. Yeah, but we had sight, we have the radio, which we have today, we have the different kinds. We were using all of them, okay? But today we are focused mainly to embrace or to reach out all the senses through one, which is sight, and on a device, on a mobile. TV is there, but TV is becoming more mobile on a daily basis. My little one just said to me, Dad, can I get my mobile? Her TV is her mobile. So can I get it with me? Because that's how they are coming up now. Like Androids, big one, huge one. They just want to follow the mobile, but the mobile is always with us. And those senses are very important. So it's like we need static images. They do not make sense anymore. So we have to be in motion all the time. All the time. What TikTok did, pushed Instagram with Reels, which is now the trend, which is a trend of that everyone is watching. But what that means to an agency means more production, more content. in daily basis. You cannot do just one and you just say that I did it and here we go, you have it though. Believe it or not, once we are on our mobiles, there is no more privacy. And we know this is called digital. Once we choose to embrace the technology, or once we were pushed to embrace technology, it depends how you take it, so I'm not going to go on that route though, because some people were pushed, some people did embrace it though. At that moment is that we have lost our privacy. I don't mean in a worst way, but I mean privacy on a way that we know now where the audience is. Yesterday you were in a sidewalk, walking there, and I was talking to you through a city light. Today, take that symbol of sidewalk and put it to an app called maybe Instagram. Another day you were in a park. I'm getting there and I'm putting that on TikTok. So try to understand, we have just changed the places, but we are all connected with the device. So we have the events online. We have the communication of a poster in digital, even more online. We are making more interactive, even for those ones which are in daily basis on the street, to involve themselves with the device. Technology is just supporting that, but technology cannot go further if they don't have the creative mindset behind of it. It's the creative mindset which is requiring, which is asking though, in order for the technology to do some more. The network today, of course, is like a big supermarket. The agencies are becoming big supermarkets, though. It's like one-stop shops. You come to an agency, you will get all the services there. They cannot afford anymore to be traditional ones. If they're going to say traditional ones, they are just gone and done, though. I don't know for how long that they will resist, though. They have to change. They have to change now. But this supermarket is not just a simple supermarket. It does not have doors and is without borders. Technology does not have limitations. We all know, we are doing projects. We can target now from here, even Asia, from here, UK, from here to USA. So we don't have any kind of limitations right now. So the technology is allowing us in order to think like that, to think because the audiences are abroad. Under pressure. Oh, yes. We are under pressure. And what we are talking about earlier, about the reptile, about instincts, about senses, yes, under pressure. Today, agencies, clients, creative industry people, or even the digital people, they feel under pressure. They feel on the pressure of performing on a daily basis. They need to keep up. They need to develop. They need to grow. Agencies, they need to grow and to be up to date, technically and creatively. But what is the most important thing? They are challenged by ROI. So in business to business, agencies, they are challenged by ROI. They are in between now, between the audience and between the technology. It's a big fight today for the agencies. It's not an easy life. Creatives, on the other side, they have to upgrade with techniques and technology. But what is the most important one? They have to be self-learning. They have to build a self-learning attitude. Just a week ago, United Kingdom just topped the budget for creative industry by 70%. And do you know why? They are not able anymore, and UK for creative industry is the top leader in world. They stopped because they cannot build any more long-term curricula when it comes to creative industry. They just cut it off the budget. And do you know what they said? They said, now we have to embrace the self-teaching, because the self-taught, because that they're so fast, the change is so fast, we cannot build curricula long enough for 3 years that you will get a diploma, and after 3 years, believe it or not, you will be out of date. So self-learning has more meaning, has more sense to the creative industry than it used to do before. So nowadays, we might get some courses, some basic things, but mainly is self-learning. Universities, they started with doing like bachelor courses, etc., but at the end of the day, when it comes to digital, is faster the way that it's coming in, rather than the way that we are embracing it. And the audience is pushing us to be faster because they are hungry to get more. Yesterday, we just had swipes of static images. Today, no. They just go on Reels, they just listen to music, they would like. Now we have the hashtags, we have everything. They used to be, but now they are making more sense. Hashtag the right music, hashtag the right videos, and everybody will start and just follow you, like that guy that is dancing on, which is the little one. Like everyone is doing that, even with the DJ, the sick one. So he's following. Like the guy in TikTok. He was just drinking the cranberry juice. So he's like that. What is happening to marketing agencies today in Western Balkans? But I know that the title says Western Balkans, but honestly, I do not believe that it's just for Western Balkans. I've talked even to my partners in UK, even in US, even in Asia. Honestly, they are all on the same path. US is just a bit more further, but they are there. We have 3 models right now of agencies. The first one is the traditional remaining. They still stoic to their opinion. They are not changing. They want to stay traditional. They are not applying any kind of new technology. They just want to go media buying on television, etc. I know that that's important in order to make business, but it's not important in order to grow your own business. So I don't know how long they will go, these guys, but maybe they will change soon. We have a second one, which is embracing digital and innovation. And within this group, we have 2. Is in-house and outsourced digital team. Most of the creative industries, most of the creative agencies, they have built their own digital team within in-house. So, but leaving a door open for outsource, because you cannot get the best of 2 worlds. You got to leave an access there. And there are agencies which for business model or financial issues, they cannot do that, but they are open to get outsource support. So they are making deal with an outsource support. And the last one is join forces. There is no better time for advertisement agencies and design agencies and marketing agencies to join forces. And we have a good example. Just about 10 days ago, if I'm not wrong, is VATRA'S and Welcome Worldwide. They just joined forces together, and they become VATRA'S Studios. And believe it, they will be the biggest production house in Europe for next years. Very, very big one. Very big move. How we adapted. It wasn't easy, though. We started with digital marketing 10 years ago in Albania. The budgets in Albania, they weren't like too much when it comes to media buying, though, and media selling when it comes to marketing. The overall country is up to 40 million euros. And it's quite not too much comparing to Belgrade and to Serbia. But people, by the audience going down, the youth moving around, etc., like in all the Western Balkans, so the numbers, they were going down. So they were looking for new opportunities. So we had to start with digital marketing 10 years ago. We were forced to. For different reasons, but we were forced to. So on the beginning, we were doing campaigns with our Canadian partners. But 7.5 years ago, we were pushed on a corner and we had to deal about a situation. We had a big client, we had to do a campaign, we had only 3 weeks to get it done based on creative strategy and up and running. And we didn't have a solution because our partner, 8 years ago, tried to believe it or not, the human resources, they were less than that time. They are not like we are now. 7 years, he's changed a lot. And he said, sorry, but we are busy. We can't deal with that in the matter of time that you are asking, though. So we had to do it by ourselves. I called one of our creative guys, which was more like a digital gig of our office, though. He was the coordinator with the Canadian partner, and I said, you're going to do it. Damn, he was pissed off at me so much. He felt like I was killing him, you know what I mean? And he said, why are you punishing me? And I said, come on, I'm telling you to do a digital campaign. I'm not punishing you. No, you are just taking me off from my creative area. And so, in other words, you're just putting me to a different department. And I said, you got to do it. We have only 3 weeks, and you are the only one that we have. And he did it. successfully. We had a campaign within the 3 weeks, but he did it in-house. From the day on, we just had to do something. But this reminded me, when I was in UK about 20 years ago, that when we had such options, and I'll talk about that just in a bit though, when we had such options though, to deal with such situations, I used to work for Enterprise AG, one of the biggest companies in London, and we went to talk about a client in university, for a university client, one of the biggest universities in UK. So we went there, we were invited then, and they asked us, okay, we need to grow our business. This was 2001. We need to grow our business. What shall we do though? Can we do something about it? And okay, we went back because the market was niche in UK, too many universities, so the market was there. So the paperwork to go to UK was a mountain of paperwork. You had to go through home office, paperwork, interviews, CELT, English test, wherever. Oh, that was massive. Still today as well, right? But we have different choices there. And what they asked is that we need to grow. We went back and said, okay, let's do an online university. That was 2001. Do you know what they said to us? No, are you kidding us? The online university. Even though in 2001, in London, you were getting Kahoot or Egg online, like Visa cards, etc. You were online. Apparently, the university did not accept that. And do you know why? Because the audience wasn't ready. The mindset of that university wasn't ready. The mindset of that leader wasn't ready. So needed to be ready in order to deal with it. But the best story that I have to say is that in 2019, in June, we were approached by Stage Talent. Stage Talent is the biggest music, let's say, private school in London. And they called us and they said, Gert, please, we need to do something. We need to go online. We need to deliver British diplomas in music for guitar, cello, all the performing arts to all Europe and UK too. And we said, okay, we went back. We did a digital platform strategy and everything we had. We went back to our client and we said, you have it. He was happy with it. He wanted to go ahead, but he said, okay, hold on a sec. Can I do a survey with all my clients? He had to go back and ask 600 parents that he had in his own portfolio and told them, are you happy not to travel 4 hours a day? Because London is hectic. I know most of you, they have been in London and you know that, but to travel in London is killing you, even by underground though. Your life will go like a mice. So it's like, just save that time. Can you take your kid and do the lesson online? And he said, teaching guitar to my kid online? No, he needs to talk to the teacher. He needs to be there. How he can hear that? How he can do that? 99% of them, they said no. They don't want to go with it. Okay, that was like, damn, second time on a row, I was feeling demolished, honestly. You know what I mean? I thought that 20 years after, I was going to do that. But then nowadays, I was killed. You know what I mean? But the owner said, no, I'm going to go ahead, he said. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start with France and Belgium. And that's what we did. We started with France and Belgium. And there, within the matter of 2 months, he had 400 more students coming in. Online teaching. So here we go, there was the success. And at February, March, the pandemic strike. Everybody at home. UK, who has been there, I hold it there for 16 days and honestly, I was getting depressive, so I had to get out of it. So, you know what I mean? So everybody was at home. They had to lock down. And we said, okay, now there is going to be business for our client. Waited first day, nothing. Second, nothing. Third, nothing. Fourth, nothing. After the 10th day, we had phone calls. We had emails. They got bored of their kids, believe me. They just couldn't keep their kids at home anymore. They just wanted to do something. So they were pushed to move from the comfort zone. So they had to fight with their reptile by force to accept the change. So there was a completely different way. Some people, they just get it. Some people, they don't. They need a push. these parents, they needed a push in order to do so. And the pandemic did give that push to them. I know through the pandemic, we have been through like a lot of hard feelings, etc., but it did give that push to the technology, did give that push to the agencies, and the agencies have the hardest work for the next 10 years to come. I'm not going to talk about artificial intelligence here because that will be a different kind of matter. What is going to happen on the next 10 years is huge. And that's how we went. They are happy now, they are expanding, and they are growing up. How we started, I said it, we had to progress not as followers. When I started to make my own business, I said, okay, I'm not going to give that issue or that problem to my staff. I'm going to follow the audience because I was a business owner, so I had to do something about it, you know what I mean? But I didn't push my staff. I wanted them to be up to the date. So they have to be upgraded in order to bring the new ideas in. If I had to stop them, they will become like typical traditional, on their comfort zone. They weren't going to do any kind of change. They weren't going to be embracing anything new to my client. We had to feed the customers for more. On the last 7 years, honestly, we are working more for digital. It has shifted totally. From 90% work for traditional media and 10% for digital has shifted totally. Now we are 90% digital and 10% for traditional media. We have 89 people working on traditional media on daily basis. Daily basis. Quality creative content. You cannot do just get something and place it there. You might do it once, you might do it twice. On the third time, you are not going to have any more client. It's gone. You've got to think very carefully. So the meaning of being creative, being fast, being now is now. And the creative agencies, they have to deal with that, and we too. The beautiful thing about this situation is the adaptation of two generations. I don't know, it might happen to you in your staff or in your companies, but you have different generations right now. We have the native ones, which are 20 years old or 21 years old, 22 years old. They didn't even know that we didn't have a mobile phone about 30 years ago. They don't even know that. They just don't even recognize that because they were born with a mobile phone. So they are native to it. But embracing these two kind of generations within the staff is the greatest experience which I have experienced today. And now we are ready for faster changes. Of course, once you change once and you know how, you are ready to change again, because you know that you need to change, because changes makes us grow. And this is the biggest challenge. You are not going to grow if you do not accept the change. You need to accept the change in order to grow. But to accept the change, you need to leave the fight. You need to leave it aside. Just get the reptile and put it on a beta, because he will always go and always be feared about it. Just cool him down. Just noodle him a bit. You know what I mean? Just stay there. We are happy. We are good. I'm going to deal with the rest of it. Let's be human a bit. Because the reptile is stopping us on being human. Because he's feeding us with fear. That's why. Agencies, they have to become the production machineries. Yes. The case of Havas and Welcome is one of those. And too many of them, they are happening right now all around the world. And this is the new machineries. They have to become production machineries. They need content. Our client need content. Our audience need content. And they are very hungry about it. Daily basis. Try to understand how many, same as us, how many they are attacking them on daily basis. They are just like that. Swipe, swipe, swipe. They just go around. Time and space now, as I said before, has a different meaning though. And what is the most important thing is that we're going to live, and this is for sure, 10 years within a year. We're going to live 100 years within 10 years. This is the fastest changing moment in our life. Now, I need to explain what I meant by it, you know what I mean? But exploring the human, I see the human, I see the calmness, I see the reasonable minds as an agency, as the agency of the future, in order to embrace, in order to accept the agency or the change that is coming tomorrow. you need to be human. If you're going to keep your reptile, which is the oldest mindset in our little brains, it's going to stop us. In order to be human and to be the agencies of future, we need to fight or kill the reptile, which is the agencies of today. The agencies of today, they need to move in order to be the agencies of tomorrow. Dear friends, honestly, and we all have a mission, though. You might say that every profession has a mission, yes. And we, as professionals in our field, in our industry, we have a mission too. We have a mission to deliver. We have a mission to communicate. We have a mission to challenge. We have a mission to be broker between technology and the audience. And we are the one. We are the spoiled ones. Keep this and feel this. Honestly, we are the spoiled ones. We are the privileged ones. This is our change. This is our moment. This is our time. And that's what we have to do. So we have to keep up. We have to keep up because we are in charge to communicate the change that is happening. The past 10 years, we were walking. After the pandemic, we got a big push. We are running right now. And if you haven't felt it yet, I'm telling you, you are going to feel that pretty soon. So let's do it, my friend. Let's do it because this is the right moment for all of us to get rid of a reptilian, to change the mindset, to get to know your customers, to understand their needs, to understand their wants, to respond correctly with the right approach, to get ready to adapt, to get ready to change. But what is the most important thing is to get ready to be human, to be the agencies of tomorrow. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you.
I have only one thing.
Yes?
If I'm going to go next to you to give you a business card, it will take me about 30 minutes more, so they won't allow me. So if you have a mobile phone right now, please, can I see the mobile phone? Please? Take the camera on. Yeah? Scan the QR code, please, and get in touch with me, because new things are coming for Western Balkans, though. Very big things. And I really want to be in touch with all of you, though. Thank you very much, guys.
Great.
Cheers.
Gerton, yeah, we can hear an applause, and I will check for questions.
Tell me.
Da li imate neka pitanja? Evo, konačno se okupi smo uživo. Evo, imamo pitanje, stiže mikrofon. We have a question for you.
Hi, Gert.
Hi.
Great question.
Yep.
Yeah, as we've seen, actually, a pretty big change and a pretty big increase in the number of highly specialized agencies in the past couple of years, especially now during the pandemic and everything. How do you think will the big agencies adapt to the more specialized model? Who will win in the outcome? And yeah, what do you see as the future of both advertising and marketing agencies in general?
Fantastic. That's a good question. What happened is that 2005 in Tirana, in Albania, there was a big booming of agencies. I mean creative agencies, like 13 years ago, like 14 years ago. And I had to call my mentor. My mentor is Graham. He's a very, very cuddly man, so he's a wonderful old man, they say, but I love him too bits. And I said, Graham, I'm very pissed off. And he said, why? Why are you pissed off? Too many agencies, man. Come on. We are only 2.5 million people. Too many agencies. What are they going to do about it? You know what I mean? They're going to kill us. We're going to be out of business. And do you know what he said to me? He is originally from Israel. And he said to me, Gerton, that's good news. And I said, why is good news? It's good news. My granddad, when he first opened the gold store in Liverpool Street, in London, he said, he had to call his cousin. And he said, come and open a gold shop just next to me. He called his cousin, come and open a gold shop just next to me. The other one just did the same, just going to come up. And that street now is the gold street of London. But people, they know where to go and where to get the gold. When it comes to our work, then biggest agencies, they need to change. If they don't change, well done to the new guys, because they're going to get it. So those who are changing are the ones that they're going to survive. In order to survive, you need to change. That's a reptile. So we need to change. So they have to accept the change in order to be there. But more companies are growing up. This is good for our industry. This is good for the future of our industry because we need to learn from all of us. There will be like the ones that are going to be open for a year. Maybe they will close down after a year. Some there will be like joint forces, like we said before. But surviving mode is only for those one who accept the change, who wants to change. So is nothing changed even through the years? It's going to happen again and again and again. This is a human being. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions from the audience? Okay, I have a question from Stream. Do agencies need to be digital all round, or they can still gravitate between traditional and digital advertising, since advertisers still spend a lot on traditional channels?
It won't happen for too long. So they have to go on digital for sure. The television, their typical device of traditional media is becoming mobile, as we said. So they have to go. They have to go there. So in other words, they have to change. They might be traditional when it comes on the way they might run their creative routines, like brainstorming and stuff, but that's normal even for the new agencies right now. So they have to embrace the technology. If they don't do so, they are not they haven't understood the change. And it's happening. Like it happened 60 years ago or 100 years ago when the television was born. So they have to do it. This is a life cycle.
Yeah.
We have to follow up that, and that's the life cycle. Technology is just making that life cycle happen. What we said, what was fashionable 5 years ago, now is not anymore. But nowadays is faster. It took 60 years for television to become traditional media. It took less than 10 years for Facebook to become the traditional digital media. So it's going to be even more.
Faster and faster. Okay, another question. What does it take for clients to be able to embrace that need to be present on digital channels? Is it up to the agencies to be the persuader and educator, or should the market dictate those terms?
I lost my hair doing that thing, honestly. I swear to God. Honestly, I had such a hard time, honestly. Even 17 years ago, when I first came from UK to Tirana, back home, I had to convince the audience that they needed a logo.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were just getting something from internet, and today they're all in courts for copyright infringement. So these issues never change. So the audiences are coming there. They will be coming there for financial issues first. They will be coming there because their audience is there. And what is the most important one is because the new generation within their own staff will be pushing them to think about that. Mainly, Balkans are managed by patriarchal kind of businesses. Even though the father does not understand that or will not embrace that, believe it or not, the kid or his first nephew or his board of directors will push him to go towards that because the audience is there. As I said before, it's like in my house, we don't even know where the TV is. That's how he's changed. He's changed.
Okay.
How many of you see TV on daily basis now with 3 to 4 to 6 hours? We don't have anymore. We don't have such time. We are on mobile. Yep. We are there. So where the audience is, that's where the business will go. If they're going to go bust it, it's up to them afterwards. But they have to think about it. But it's our work to do so. Of course, we have to tell them. In the meantime, there is a big work like IAB in Europe, actually, in Serbia and wherever, all over the Balkans, to support and make the change. But the governments, they have to understand that, and they are pushing, as far as I know, in order to do their own part of the business there. But it's too many factors there.
Okay.
But the main thing is the need. It comes up from the need. What is the need? The need is to grow business. In order to grow business, then you have to be on digital too. Simple as that. That's where that's the first start. So they will be like self-taught by force if they do not accept.
Yeah, following the audience. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gert. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Applaus za
Thank you.
Gertona Bejo.